Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. We have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none was slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest, we see them gyal wine up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them think priceless. Timber, bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nah the rice yet. So a marshal, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese land. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. Is we have the land, what many ask for, we never see Katrina or nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none was slippy. Guyana, we say big up on no city. Enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Hello, Wagwan. I the nuclear family, hey master, one up fully. A one-time records, a 592, we think that. Hello, Wagwan.
Hey yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. We have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none was slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana, this breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city. Are the hypest, we see them gyal wine up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese, get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them think price.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home, the only place I call home.
But this Guyana no good. He walk all around the tongue, but he can't go abroad. Everybody know he's a big, big fraud. Every plane that land does give you a fright. That's why he does pray and cry every night. But people don't worry, have no fright. Cause we gonna expedite the extra. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a cell. Please tell me now the for the Lamborghini, do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a selfie. Tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. Since I was young, now I old. Never know Guyana had so much gold. Ship it out, but not pay taxes. I hear we owe in the millions. He spent half on them gas, them Brazilians. But soon they are reckoning a come. A laugh them a go laugh, a run them a go run. Run, 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 run. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a selfie. Tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. As Robin Hansel, both of you going in a selfie. Tell me now the real price for the Lamborghini. Do it very soon. Do it very shortly. Just come real quick. You say we're wrong, why you're moving so frantic. He's panting, he's sweating, he's trembling in.
Good morning to you, and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. It is the 11th of March, 2026, and I'm happy to be here with you yet again. Morning to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions of Guyana. Morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. Special good morning to those persons in the comment section. Happy that you guys are here. Thank you for your continued support. Patsy Alfonso, morning to you. Sarah Mosley, Gita Prasad, good morning. Abu Sharif, morning to you. Richard Stanislaus, good morning to you. Rosemary Lira, Maureen Razio, Kyla Daniels joining us from Maracaibo. Roman Harilal, good morning to you. Rosetta Fredericks, good morning. Eric Passad, Philip Diabru, Cecil Ram Passad, good morning to you. Shakila Briglal, good morning. And everybody else in the comment section, morning to you. Krishna Deodat, morning to you. Jenny Ferreira, morning to you. Morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. So let's jump right into it. Now, the first thing I want to touch on this morning, before we get into really serious matters, I notice a lot of persons have been complaining about accommodations for athletes. I saw, and I'm calling people who I know, I saw Tyson English complain about it, right? Yeah, I saw Tyson English complain about it. Tyson English and me are good friends, but we tend to differ on some points. And this is one of them, right? Now, before I get into this mainly, Tyson English is one of the persons who I know feels that there's a detach from youths being involved in physical activities and a push for them, or not a push, but their interest being piqued with staying indoors, video games, computers, those kinds of things. He is one who pushes for youths to be more physically active. You understand? Tyson English was the former expedition leader for the President Youth Award program. me as his deputy expedition leader at one point in time. We stayed in these schools when we were on expedition or in different regions doing what we had to do. Even as participants, yes, we stayed in these schools. As leaders, yes, we stayed in these schools. Even when we became some sort of auxiliary staff for the President Youth Award, we weren't afforded any hotel accommodations. Now, I want to come across, but that's Tyson, and I said that to show that Mr. English came up under something similar and usually advocates for children to go back to their roots. Right? Now, the one post that jumped out at me, and many of you may say this gentleman is a non-entity, but sometimes you have to focus in on these things. Now, if you remember, before the recent election, there was a party called ANOG. And ANOG had a member called Mark de France, right? Now, Mark has been betrayed in all ways, shape, and form since his entry into politics. Mark has suffered a lot. But he often comes out with these things and try to make himself sound, like, yeah, he would have made sense if he didn't make it into government. So listen to this, right? Listen to this here. So this is, my fact, I think y'all could see it. This is Mark de France post. Now he's talking about this here. He's talking about this here. Right? Now this is Mark de France post. One day we will wake up and stop accepting mediocrity. Anyway, for how much longer must we in this oil-rich producing nation? And that's another thing, right? This term oil-rich producing nation, that's the first thing a lot of people like to throw in front of anything that they feel needs to be better or somehow substandard in Guyana. Oil-rich, right? With one of the fastest GDP per capita to accept bare minimum for our future leaders. Why do they put our 2,000 substandard hotels? So now, and you see how they nitpicking the start. The 2,000 a hotel, but now it's a substandard hotel. Right? Why do we put our 2,000 substandard hotels when they come out for the NTC? Why do our school children get substandard meals? What? Because the Guyanese that are contracted to cook it, Mark de France, not President Ali, not Prime Minister Mark Phillips, not the Minister of Education. She's not cooking any meals for any students. It's Guyanese like you and me, Mark, who the government said, you know something, let's open it up so that more Guyanese can be involved. You understand? Let's make contracts available so people in the very communities that the schools are in can prepare food for those schools. Right, Mark? So it's Guyanese like you and me preparing substandard meals for the students. Right? Why now must the best of our athletes be sleeping on mattresses on the floor? At least the mattresses finally reach for our premier athletic champions, for our premier athletic championship for secondary schools. Do you think those that came for the recent oil and gas convention slept in a 3-star hotel where we put our 2 shows? Now, you see, Mark is somebody that often shows the level of stupidity of Mark. Mark is somebody who often exhibits his level of stupidity publicly. And this is why I tell y'all sometimes that some of these guys, they may be doctors, some of them may be lawyers, but they're stupid as hell. So now Mark is comparing the oil and gas conference, where the attendees pay their own way to attend, I don't think it's called a ticket, buy access to the event, buy booth, pay for hotel, airfare, all on their own. So Mark is comparing that to the Two Shows conference, which is heavily subsidized by the government, right? Would we even dare to put any of those visitors to have a Guyanese experience of sleeping on a foam mattress on the floor? The government does friggin' house the people who's come for the oil and gas conference, Mark. The government does fly them in. This banner, oh, listen. Anyway, y'all continue and y'all read the foolishness from Mark, right? Y'all read the foolishness from Mark. As far as I'm concerned, this is the real reason Mark is out of politics, because Mark continues to show the high level of stupidity that he possesses, right? Hold on, let me bring you up on screen so everybody know the idiot are talking about. I don't look. He's still supporting a party that was. Mark is still supporting a party that cast him out, right? This banner got a different level of show. Yeah, he under the rainbow. But that's fine, Mark. Nobody ain't judging you. You do your thing. Now, as I was saying to you, now, the fake, now, I want to talk about this fake argument, right? Does oil rich mean, or the oil rich nation, does that mean everything must be luxury? Dubai got more oil than we. Everything there is luxury? Mark de France, when you have some time, when you're out of surgery or you're off the ward, you go to YouTube and look at the dark side of Dubai. Oil-rich Dubai, who producing oil way longer than we, who has more than us. You understand? Now, I want to start with the most dishonest premise in Mark's entire rant. And that is the idea that because Guyana has oil, every event must suddenly become a 5-star luxury experience. Oil revenue doesn't magically replace logistics, planning, or infrastructure capacity overnight, Mark. Even countries with trillions in GDP, like the United States, host athletes in dormitories, hostels, not hotel, hostel, you understand? And temporary accommodations for school competitions, sir. This is school championships. This is not the Olympics. And even at the Olympics, some accommodations, y'all remember they had them cardboard thing like a bed? 2 people can't lie on the guitar, sing and broke down. Now, national school sports have always used shared accommodations. For decades in Guyana, the Inter-Guyana Games, nationals, school championships have used dormitories, school buildings, temporary accommodations, or shared facilities. That is not new. So all of a sudden, and that's the thing, they decide to just manufacture the outrage at times. This is how school sports operate across the Caribbean. This is not anything unique to Guyana. Right? Now, comparing school athletes to oil and gas delegates is intellectual dishonesty and high levels of stupidity. The comparison is completely ridiculous. Oil and gas delegates pay thousands in conference fees. They're a part of private commercial events. They book their own hotels. They generate millions in economic activity. School athletes, on the other hand, are government-supported students competing in public youth championships. That is not the same category of event, Mark. How dumb can you be? Now, the substandard narrative that Mark tried to push here is completely ignores massive investment in sport. In the last few years, Guyana has seen synthetic track upgrades, national stadium improvements, new sports facilities in multiple regions, cash grants for athletes, school sports expansion. Not so long ago, Mark, in Guyana, sport almost received nothing. But you activate since 2020 going forward. Now, suddenly, Mark wants to pretend nothing is being done. Mark exhibited convenient silence about the past. I want to ask Mark one simple question. Where was your voice 10 or so years ago? Or where? Because during those years, school facilities deteriorated, no new schools built, sports funding collapsed. You understand? And youth programs were cut out. Just like the very program I was telling you about with Tyson English, the former administration ground the President Youth Award into almost nothing. So now that this administration take over, this still can't catch itself. Still can't catch itself. And Mark talking, no, this country, Guyana, is investing more than ever. Suddenly people discover outrage. Right? Now, let's come to the Two Show's hotel argument. And just to be clear, this is another attempt at political spin. The NTC conference brings hundreds of indigenous leaders to Georgetown at the same time. That creates a hotel capacity challenge. The reality is, Georgetown only recently started increasing the limited hotel rooms they have. Many hotels, because of all the activities we have in Guyana right now with oil and gas and other things going on, are already booked. Do y'all know that places like the Marriott, Pegasus, these big hotels, these places like Exxon and got people going offshore and stuff, just rent out blocks of rooms for the Guyanese staff that got go on the vessel to go there and stay before they go on anything. Blocks of rooms for the locals, much less the expats who are here working. Right? So, because of that, the accommodations is sometimes spread out over various facilities for the NTC. That's logistics, Mark. Logistics, not disrespect. Oil revenue is already being invested in Guyanese. So instead of empty outrage, Let's look at the facts. Oil revenue is already funding cash grants, school feeding programs, new hospitals, roads and bridges, housing programs, sports facilities, education expansion. Those benefits go directly to Guyanese families and children. Right? Later down in Mark's post, he talks about rape and plunder. And that is dangerous language. The language Mark is using here is reckless political theater. And again, not even cultural center. Theater guild, small stage production. Right? Is Mark forgetting that Guyana has one of the strongest oil contract reviews processes? Mark forgetting the local content legislation? Mark forgetting the sovereign wealth fund protections? This is not plunder, Mark. This is economic transformation. The real question, Mark, is why politicize children? What is really disturbing is the attempt to weaponize school children and athletes for political outrage. Children competing in sports should be celebrated, Mark, not used as props in, I don't even know why even saying political narrative. You're a political non-entity in the world of politics. The truth is, Guyana is not perfect. But what we're seeing today, more investment in youth, more investment in sport, more investment in education, more investment in communities. All of this is more than any other time in Guyana's history. So for the purpose of Mark de France, or Mark de Forge, as he was recently called, let's be clear. Guyana is rising. Our athletes are rising. Our schools are rising. And Mark, no amount of manufactured outrage, political spin, or social media theatrics will erase the reality that this country is investing more in its people today than ever before. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple. And don't be surprised, because remember, this was Muhammad's buy, you know. And y'all don't put it too far out your mind that Mark may be allegedly operating on behalf of Muhammad still. But to detach himself so that he said, man, look, I got whoever overseas, I got travel. I need my bank account to get paid. So I'm gonna rep y'all, but from a distance. From a distance. Mark, in every single thing but grace. Everything but grace. Anyway, let's jump over to this one here now. So as you know, Starbrook News is on its way out to the system. On its way out to the system. And in normal fashion, they continue to make claims that they cannot corroborate, especially Anand Prasad. Right? Now he goes to Facebook and posts a missive here. Yeah, I could go and read it after. and nothing to back it up. Not an invitation, email, a text. Nothing. And they wonder why Stabrook News closing though. And people want to advertise them more. Y'all are horrible people. No. Anand Prasad entire story about the BBC. The BBC was recently here and they shot one of the talk shows. Right? Now Anand claiming that he was supposed to be on the show. Right? Now the entire story that Anand put out is built on speculation, not evidence. Y'all go and read the post. And this is the editor for Stabrook News. Right? So I want to start with the most obvious point. Anand Prasad presents absolutely no proof of any of the claims he made in the statement. Now, he says the producers caved under pressure. Pressure from who? Which producer tell you that? When they call you, when they text you to tell you that they cave under any pressure? He said the government protested his presence. With the placards there, no Anand, take back Anand, send Ashley. So, show we protest. We'll protest, where you get it from? Huh? He said the government tried to add a crony. Who we getting this information from, Anna? How we could corroborate it? Where is the evidence? No letter, no statement, no confirmation from the BBC. Just one man's assumption dressed up as facts. Anand Prasad, this is not journalism. This is self-promotion, brother. Now, maybe unlike Stabrook News, right, who may have a private sector individual, a sanctioned individual funding them, the BBC makes its own editorial decisions. You believe an organization like the BBC, that Derong since Noah was a Boy Scout, gonna let the government of Guyana pressure them into not having you there? The BBC is a global broadcaster with strict editorial independence. They run programs in dozens of countries and select panels based on their own editorial balance. Now, to suggest that the government of Guyana can simply dictate the BBC's panel, it's frankly an insult to the BBC's credibility. Who is Stabrook News to the BBC? The BBC challenge presidents, dictators, whoever on their programs, outright and bold. What kind of power Guyana got? And this is where I try to show y'all the ignorance about it. Stabrook News has been pushing the line by Asadin Mohammed. That is, the government make these sanctions come. So the government influenced the United States of America across administrations from different sides of the aisle. So could you imagine in America, Americans can't get the Republicans and the Democrats to agree on something, but the Guyana government get the Democrats and the Republicans to agree on Asadin Mohammed. Make it make sense to me. Huh? Make it make sense to me. The Americans can't do it to get the Republicans and the Democrats to agree. But you're telling me the PVP And the government of Guyana, well, the PPP as the government of Guyana, was able to get the Democrats and the Republicans to come together and say, yes, this is one thing we can agree on. We need to extradite Hassanin Mohammed. You see where I'm coming from? So it's either the BBC runs its own show, or Anand Prasad is accusing the BBC of being weak and manipulated, like people are accusing the Starbrook News. Which one is it, Anna? Which one is it? No, let's come to the victim badge. And again, this here is this narrative, this victimhood narrative is all part of the political theater. If you notice the language at the end of it, and I didn't read through this one, you go and check it. At the end of it, he says, I wear the government's opposition to my presence as a badge of honor. That is classic political martyrdom language. I take the shot for y'all. Yes, look at me. I'm the one that they victimized. Look at me. This is not about a panel. This is about creating a narrative that he is some heroic figure being silenced. Except the only person saying he was silenced is him. You think if the BBC came under pressure from the government to keep off Anand Prasad or anyone from their program, they wouldn't have an expose on it or something? Huh? Guyana got so much money that we paying American and UK officials in their currency? Huh? I want to come to another thing, Anna. And you as a media operative should know. Panels change all the time. Elson Lowe was supposed to do a panel with Joel Prasad for debate. Right? And he duck until it happened. So things has happened. Debate just get called off. Panel discussion just get restructured. What happened? Panels for international programs change constantly. People drop out because of scheduling conflicts, editorial balance, format changes, timing issues. This happens everywhere in the world. To immediately jump to government conspiracy is simply Anand's ego talking. Now, the timing of the argument makes no sense. Anand claims the government didn't want the program airing before elections. Think about that logically. If the government wanted to silence criticism, why let the program in Guyana at all? Why not block the BBC at the airport and send them back? BBC World Questions has a reputation for hard questioning of governments globally. So the idea that the government would suddenly fear one panelist is frankly laughable. More so a panelist like Anand Prasad. Frankly laughable. When you have people like Minister Ashni Singh, the Attorney General, the president, the prime minister, the vice president, Minister Tashiro. And I'm talking about heavy hitters that could articulate on any topic, anytime, anywhere. As a matter of fact, every cabinet member that is in this current administration, I am of the firm belief at any point in time can stand and defend the work of their sectors, the ministries, or the work done in this country. And usually what you see happening is people who base their argument off of emotion get upset when they're hit with facts. Right? There are persons who would just repeat things they hear in passing as fact. Now, I want to come to the private sector crony thing. This claim here is just another baseless attack. Anand claimed the government tried to add a private sector crony. Again, no name. We don't know who the crony is. No evidence. No confirmation. Just a simple throwing of an allegation into the air, hoping that something sticks. The BBC owes Anand Prasad nothing. Another important point, the BBC is not obligated to explain its editorial decisions to every potential panelist. If we want it anymore, we want it anymore. What's the problem? We want you. We want you. Being considered for a panel is not a contract. It's not a binding contract. It's not a right, Anand Prasad. It's not a guarantee. The real question Guyanese should ask is very simple. Why is Anand Prasad trying so hard to make himself the story? Instead of discussing what the US ambassador actually said about this Mohammed situation, instead of discussing the issues facing Guyanese and how the government is working to alleviate those issues and problems, instead of discussing economic development, how more and more Guyanese are being empowered, instead of discussing governance, how government is pushing to move away from all the red tape and the bureaucracy at the ministry levels so that people could get better and faster service. Just the other day, I talked to, not the other day, I think it's yesterday or day before yesterday, talking to a gentleman who tells me, bro, the whole passport office situation, just, it revamped it so fast now. You could pay, and not a bribe. Anywhere in the world, you could pay to expedite documents. If you don't want to expedite, you get back your passport in a matter of days. If you want to expedite, you could go in the morning and get back your passport the evening, the afternoon. You understand? All of us remember, I remember when I used to go Maze on the 12, when it was on Carifest Avenue at the Legion ground, before it turned into the big school that it turned into today. When you go into school in the morning and you passing on Camp Street, heading to Carifest Avenue, the passport line long to Bumba, wrong and way wrong. God forbid rainfall the morning. People out there with the umbrella standing up. So they're not going to discuss things like that. They're not going to discuss that bridge in Linden that is about to be completed, which will take Lindeners from a 1-lane to a 4-lane bridge that will allow for easy movement of goods, services, people, and the same future that idiot Mark de France was talking about. The free movement of them. You gotta wait for one side and then wait for the other side and all that foolishness. Those are the things they refuse to discuss. So, as it relates to Starbrook News and Anand Prasad, let's be very clear. And the BBC, I should say. A global broadcaster made an editorial decision, Anna. But instead of accepting it, accepting that reality, Anand has decided to spin a conspiracy theory where he becomes the hero, the victim, and the martyr all at one time. Anand Prasad, that's not courage. That is your ego wrapped in speculation. And Guyanese deserves facts. Guyanese deserve facts, not self-manufactured drama. I'm the theory. Look, hey, sometimes this place is, it don't stop surprising me, right? Now, let's jump over to, so yesterday, they had the, Muhammad's case at the appeal court. And I'll say it to you right now off the bat. The courts are not buying the delay tactics, at least the appeal court. The magistrate court is a different story. The magistrate court seems to be a different story. I have never, in a while, other than the elections case, seen something languish so long at the magistrate's court level. You understand? And I'm wondering, as a magistrate, and I'm not speaking to any magistrate specifically here, but as a magistrate handling a matter, given your legal knowledge, and you seeing this matter progressing through other courts in a timely manner, but your court, which is the lowest level, magistrate, you're not lower than that. This is the first level, can't wrap up proceedings as yet. Nevertheless, people, the appeal court, they're not buying the delay tactics being put forward by the Mohammeds. Oh, the Trini man is back. I see. He come back. You have to go for some documents. Right? Now, I want to start with the most important development. The appeal court refused to grant a stay of the extradition proceedings in the magistrate's court. So that is basically them saying, hey, we got to listen to you, right? We got to hear what you got to say. But you see, though, you got in the magistrate court there, you go and you deal with that same time. Don't let me waste time, right? Don't let me waste time. You go in the magistrate's court and deal with your worries one time, right? So the appeal court refused to grant the stay of the extradition proceedings in the magistrate courts. Now, that means the court looked at their arguments and did not find them strong enough to halt the process. In other words, their attempt to stop the extradition process failed. That alone tells you a lot about the strength of their legal argument. Now, this bias argument is convenient and manufactured. These lawyers are now arguing that the Home Affairs Minister, the Honorable Onyejuwalran, was biased because she is part of the government. Y'all understand what these people are saying? Think about how ridiculous that argument is. If that logic were accepted, no minister in Guyana could ever execute their legal duties because every minister belongs to a government. That would effectively paralyze the entire extradition system. That is why the government's lawyers correctly pointed out the doctrine of necessity. Someone has to perform their legal function. Who The Mohammed Inspector is what they call it, the authority to proceed, the ATP, something like that. Now, the Attorney General called it exactly what it is. And as you know, the Attorney General hardly minces words. The Attorney General said the case should have never been filed and described it as hopeless from the beginning. Now, again, I've told y'all over and over, the team for the Mohammeds got to try any and everything. If they got to pull something out of their derriere in the courtroom just to pass something for a bit, they have to do it. Asadeen Mohammed is not paying no jokey money. These people have to work. So any and everything possible under the sun, they will have to try. The good thing about it is we have been moving through the higher courts quickly. Persons were afraid that the high court might take long to bring it up. The appeal court can take long to bring it up. And I kid you not, they're going to go to the CCJ. They're going. They're going. And I tell you this as well. Even after they go to the CCJ, they can find something else to appeal at the High Court again, then at the Appeal Court again, then to the CCJ. It can keep reoccurring until somebody put like, hey, done, ship you. Done it now. You understand? Now, the Attorney General has pointed out something very important. The whole bias argument appears to be a contrived strategy. And this is deliberately to create the delay in the process. This is not about justice, you know. Again, I'm telling y'all, this is about buying time. Now, what is the real issue here? Serious international criminal allegations. Let's not forget why this case exists in the first place. According to the United States federal indictment, the Mohammeds are accused of a multi-year scheme involving gold smuggling, tax evasion, and money laundering. These allegations include, but are not limited to, concealing true value quantity of gold exports, reusing government seals to avoid paying royalties, the bribing of officials, shipping of empty boxes with government seals, laundering proceeds through international transactions. These are not minor allegations. The indictment claims at least 10,000 kilograms of gold were involved. You know what the estimated losses for Guyana were or are? According to the indictment, the alleged scheme resulted in approximately 50 million US, not 50 million Guyanese dollars. So 50 million US times 214 or 215 or whatever they're changing it at now. And see how much y'all get. 50 million US in losses to the government of Guyana. Let that sink in. That money should have gone to buying, getting better food for the children, like Mark Buse about, paying for better hotel for the two show that Mark Buse about, and everything else, every other idiotic thing that Mark DeFrance said. That money should have gone to the Guyanese people. It could have funded schools, hospitals, roads, community development in the indigenous areas, Mark DeFrance. Maybe you need to start calling out Mohammed. Right? But instead of the funds going to those things I just mentioned, prosecutors say it was diverted through fraud. Of course, we can't forget the Lamborghini tax evasion allegations. One of the most striking parts of the indictment involves a Lamborghini import scheme. So outside the GRA, the Americans want it for the Lambo. But he doesn't say, oh, the Americans talking about the Lambo. He tell you, Jack, you're talking about the Lambo like you want the Lambo. No, the Americans want it. The prosecutors alleged that Azadin evaded more than US 1 million in Guyanese taxes connected to the shipment of that vehicle. Every time this man shaft or rape Guyanese in terms of funds that's supposed to go to Guyanese people, it is never in Guyanese currency. The amount is always, it has to be quantified in US dollars because the amounts are big. People might even understand. So you got to put it in US dollars to bring down the amount. Well, not bring down the amount, bring down the amount being mentioned. Right? Because 50 million US, there's hundreds of millions of Guyanese dollars, buddy. No. 51 million US is 200 million Guyanese dollars. There's billions of dollars. You can say 1 million US is 200 and something million Guyanese dollars. And he got 50 million. Right? So while the ordinary Guyanese paying their taxes to bring in regular vehicle, pickup, car, bike, this and that, the allegation is that millions were being avoided at the highest level. I'm a businessman. Ain't paying the taxes. No, we will continue to see legal challenges instead of facing the case. Just look at the pattern. Instead of addressing the allegations head on, we've seen multiple court challenges, attempts to halt the proceedings, arguments of bias, attempts to delay the extradition proceedings. It's who's sick, who tire get slashed, who car get broke into, who got diarrhea, all kind of thing. All kind of thing. And it seemed, the next time you're in front of the court, I got try them thing, but I sick, Your Honor, I sick. I can't show up today. Right? And get a doctor for write some stupidness on a paper and let me give it to a magistrate. Because I don't understand it. Every step by this team is designed to slow the wheels of justice. But again, I say to y'all, this case is bigger than just one family. This case is not about personalities. This is about integrity, the integrity of Guyana's financial system and natural resources. If the allegations are proven, it would mean that millions of dollars from Guyana's gold sector were siphoned away through fraud. That is why this matters, or I should say, that is why this matter must be properly tested in court. At the end of the day, the courts have already refused to stop the extradition proceedings. That means the legal system is moving forward. Instead of political theater and manufactured claims of bias, what Guyanese want is simple. Let the evidence be tested. Let the courts decide. And oh gosh, Azadine and Nazar, let justice take its course. Plain and simple. Let justice take its course. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Aubrey Barker Road now connecting to the Ogle bypass. Right? So if you didn't know, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. The government didn't stop it. This Irfan Ali administration doesn't seem to be stopping. They are on a development agenda and to put Guyana on a certain trajectory, and that is continuing to roll out. I was at the Ministry of Housing recently, and I ran into one of the viewers of this program. And we spoke briefly, and we touched on different topics. But usually, when I meet an overseas-based Guyanese who has inkling to want to come back and live and be a part of Guyana, be a part of Guyana, I often ask them, what do you think about what you see? I think his name was Thomas or something like that. I can't remember his first name. Right? What do you think about what you see? You may be hearing something over there, but you were here now. What do you think? And the man said, when he left Guyana, he never imagined he would come back. Yeah. He never imagined. Oh. Okay, sorry, people, sorry. Lawrence, thank you for the advice. I don't know if horrible tea gives energy, but if you know of a horrible tea that gives energy, please let me know. Coffee does not agree with my system. If I drink coffee, it's just like rumble in the tummy. I can't handle that. Right? So, if you know of horrible teas that just boost the energy in the morning and get me going, let me know. But coffee is definitely out, right? Coffee is definitely out. Anyway, what was telling you? Anyway, so we continue to see the development around our. Oh, I was telling you the guy that I started housing. The gentleman said when he left Guyana, he never believed that. No. He said if the opportunities and the development that was happening now was happening then when he was younger, he would have never left Guyana. If what was decaf, yeah, but I needed caffeine for the energy. Tommy can't handle it. But you understand what I'm putting to you? This man came back to Guyana. He's seeing development. He's seeing persons being able to get their homes. He's seeing schools and stuff being built, free education at so many levels, so many things. All right, I can try it. I can try it. Somebody sell lemongrass tea. Let me see. I hope the energy is there. Y'all set me up. Right? He would have never moved. He would have never moved. I know in his now that he has advanced in age, he's still looking to come home and be a part of what's going on here. Even if it's just to live in the warm. Jesus Christ. I am appealing to all of you out there. Come back and build your country. This is not the Guyana that you left behind. Right? Don't listen to the propaganda of the opposition. You come and get your experience yourself. Right? You come to Guyana and get your experience yourself. The guy was at housing. And some man you get into. Yes, the working to. The lines at housing are not the same. The lines at passport office are not the same. The process is being revamped to become more efficient. So we as Guyanese are moving somewhere. Abu Sharif used trouble. We make a joke. Anyway, guys, y'all go out and continue to be productive Guyanese wherever you are. If you're home here in Guyana, be careful on the roadways. If you're riding an electric scooter, Jesus Christ, ride it with sense. I used to have one of them things. You got hold the car now. Your scooter don't move the fast. You're small in size. Hold a car now. Hold a car now. Right? I do believe that the government would have put a system in place for these scooters to be registered. And I guess you need some sort of provisional or something to use them. To the adults out there who have young children on these electric scooters, it is not a game. It is not a game. This is not a bicycle moving at a certain speed. Some of these electric scooters is moved 35 and them kind of thing here. Fernandez, pick up yourself. Right? Please, if you're an adult that have your child, or listen, I firmly believe teenagers like 15 and over, probably even up to 13, could safely operate on them scooters. But them 10-year-old and 8-year-old riding them scooters on the road, please, if we could desist from that, because it will just end up bad. And to the adults who are using them, please use them with some more caution. Right? We're noticing too much of accidents involving these electric scooters. Too much. Too much. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. My apologies for yesterday. Your boy is seeking purpose and abundance, because hate doesn't get us far. So in the process of seeking purpose and abundance, I was unable to be with you yesterday. I'm happy to be here today, but I'll definitely be back here tomorrow with you. Same time, same place. And as I usually say, before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about...
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break.